We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport. Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We have a great show for you guys today. We have Julia Krajewski coming on, the Olympic gold medalist.
From the Tokyo Games.
From the Tokyo Games.
11th in Paris.
Superstar, and we are so excited we got her here in studio.
I know, it's pretty amazing, John. Congratulations on that. That was a scoop and a half.
Thank you. And we'll talk about it, but so accommodating.
I know, right?
Awesome person. So let's take a break, check in with Horse Trailer Pros, and we'll be right back and get to it. Want to advertise on the John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are in the Jump for Joy studios, John. It is a great show. What a catch did you do? And how did you manage that? And we're all talking about the first woman and the only woman to win a gold medal in the Olympics, and that is Julia.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Krajewski.
No.
Krajewski.
And that's not even right. I tried.
It's Krejewski.
No.
I know how to spell it.
I think it's Kra.
Krejewski.
Krajewski. Or you could say Krajewski, which would be wrong, or whatever you said.
Krajewski.
Nope.
I know. I just did it right first. So anyway, Julia's going to be on the show. She's a gold medalist. John, how did you do it?
So I have to say, she's amazingly nice. I just, on a whim, sent out a message and was like, hey, would you ever want to come on the podcast? And within an hour, I got a message back. Yeah, I'd love to. What's your podcast? And so I sent her a link to the show, and she said, yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to come on. I'll get back to you. I just happened to be in the States visiting some friends. And I was like, okay, that's great. Where are you? Well, Florida. I'm like,
where in Florida?
I think we could make this happen. And she happens to be in Ocala, checking in on some horses that she sold and hanging out with some friends, and agreed to come in. And just was so easy to deal with, which is pretty cool.
It was great. And you're going to be able to see that pretty soon. It was a great interview. I obviously knew some stuff about Julia from, winning the gold medal.
Not how to say her name, but other stuff.
Well, I can't say a lot of people's names.
That's
so that
100% accurate.
So 2020 Olympics that happened in 2021 where she won the gold medal, we knew her from there. But then Peacock came out with a documentary with Tammy Smith, Lauren Billies, and Julia.
Yep.
And so I watched that and knew a little bit more about her life. And then, of course, I went back and did some research. Really a cool girl.
Yeah. No, she's awesome.
She really is.
Yeah.
She's 37 years old, at the height of her career.
Right.
And making some changes, which y'all will hear about, which is she's got it wintering in some new places. And
yeah, so we should quickly mention that. So the competition this week for the I Love My Horse $25 gift certificate and Regal Horse Treats, made by Trinity here at the farm, is you guys have to pay attention, watch the show, go onto YouTube, and in the comments, you need to tell us, where is Julia currently spending her winters? How long has she been there? And who is she spending her winters with? Put that in the comments, and then we will take the correct answers out of there, and we will draw the winner.
That's what we're going to do.
Right.
And we got to do that for this show as well.
Yeah, which is what yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Shoot. We'll have to figure that out. You need to pull your phone up and remember what
So
we
you
did.
can be talking and I can figure it out for you.
No, what is it? Hold on.
Actually, I've been reading them, everybody. They've been really good comments.
Okay,
So
let's do this now.
So let's do it, and we're going to go in here and we're going to pull
So what was
them
the
up.
competition again? Refresh
That
our
was
memory.
the competition was what is the description of Jay Hambley's
Outfit. Right.
And we were going to
Pick our favorite answer. And you had one in mind that you thought was great.
There was a couple, but then some more have come in.
Okay.
And they've been really good. So you're going to read them.
I'm going to read them all?
Well, no, just start scanning through. The last one was pretty good. That one right there. You can't go dead on us right now.
I'm trying.
Just because you're reading.
Oh, colored chaos.
I like that. That was the last one that came in.
They even spelled colored like a Canadian or someone from Europe. They added the U in.
Mm-hmm. I liked colored chaos.
Colored chaos is good.
Yep. Go down and just read a couple more. So guys, you were really good because we got like 20. And I've been reading each one as they come in.
Jay's suit, a riotous psychedelic kaleidoscope, a promise of brighter days not far away.
See,
I
really
like
good.
that better than colored chaos, to be honest.
You like it better than the color chaos?
I do. It's more motivating.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Keep going.
Jay's suit looks like a Jackson Pollock art on fabric. Very
See,
colorful.
like that because I just watched The Accountant.
I like that too, but the other one's more motivational.
The second one so far. Yeah. You got it. Go.
Okay. We've got Jerry Garcia meets Colonel Sanders. That's pretty good. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. I like that. Always a great show. I mean, you're going to get far if you butter us up.
Yeah, that's
so that's
true.
good.
That's true.
Jay's suit, Zoot Suit Riot.
I think the second one so far.
Okay, let's just. I honestly did read all of these. So
I did too. They were great. Thanks for doing it.
here's the last one I'm going to read, and then we're going to pick the winner.
Okay.
Jay's one-of-a-kind outfit looks like a blast from the past. Chances are, if you grew up in the 70s, you tried your hand at the very colorful and fun spin art, which also looks like David Bowie's spin masterpieces. Thank you for being you.
Wow.
That's pretty good. All right, so I think it's between that one and number 2.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Number 2.
Number 2. All right, so the winner is Delia Quinn, 7287. So, Delia, you have to go. Well, you don't have to go. You have to send a text to me.
Yeah.
So send me a text. My number is 352-875-8622. Tell me how I'm supposed to get this to you. I'm hoping that I don't have to send anything. If it has to go out of the U.S., I think we can't do that.
No, but hopefully you're in the U.S.
Hopefully you got to be in the U.S., okay?
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe even better, you're in Ocala and you could just drive by and pick it up. That'd be super. But you get... from I Love My Horse Tack Shop, you get that $25 gift certificate. So you can go over there and pick out something nice, maybe make like a down payment on something awesome. And then you'll get your cookies from Regal Horse Treats. Trinity has been like, honestly, I think I'm going to have to buy her a new oven. She's been baking these things so much.
That's good for Trinity.
Yeah, it's great.
She's a go-getter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's great. It's working good. Everybody out there, it's fantastic to see the comments come in.
Yeah, well, and it's working because, like, again, we are at over 30,000 subscribers now on YouTube. That is huge. Like, as far as I can do in my very limited but extremely good market research, we are the biggest eventing podcast on YouTube.
No, we are. Yeah. And Spotify and iHeart. And I think, it's really motivational to have all the other podcasts out there.
Yeah.
Because
Eventing
we're
Nation has
better
a new
than
one.
all of them.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to say that.
I am.
No.
We are. Come on.
Don't be like that.
Oh, come on.
I am.
Don't y'all think we're better than all the other podcasts?
Rick. That should go without saying. But what I'm saying is...
See, John is like this when he's on the committee, too.
That's not true, because I'm not. No, but I love... This is the honest God truth. We are the best.
See,
obviously,
that's what I
because
just said.
Because it's you and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But also, I love having all the other podcasts. I was talking with Eventing Nation and Sally.
Yeah.
And I said, that's awesome. You guys have a podcast. Like, the more the merrier, the more we can get...
Yeah, definitely.
Get excitement around the
everything out
sport of
there.
eventing, the better for everybody. It is
agree.
great to have us all out there.
And Major League is really good.
Major League, and they are so nice.
They're super sweet.
Such good people, and we've actually we need to have them back on the show.
We
'cause
do need
We
to.
did that a couple years ago. We were on theirs, and they
We
were on
did,
ours.
and since the loss of Rob,
Yeah.
we really need to have her and the son on. Now they do it together because Briggs was on it, and it was really good. So
Yeah, absolutely. No, we need to do that. So, and have Sally on too. We should have like a whole
we
a
should
round
be
table.
a podcast round table. That would be really cool.
All right, we'll see. Maybe we can make that happen.
Maybe. Although I can say this, does Sinead still have a podcast?
She does one through Rod IQ. Yeah,
Yeah, I've never been on that. Neither is Briggs.
that's interesting. I was.
Elisa has.
Yeah, I was on it.
I know. Everybody but me.
Well,
And I've told her that before.
and how'd that go?
She's like, I'll have you and Elisa, and then she just had Elisa.
Right. Rude.
Well, why is that? Why do I get left off of things? I got
don't know.
left off of weddings. Briggs and I got left off of weddings. We got left off of all kinds of stuff. And we just figured it was the whole thing that was going on with us before. So evidently you know why, because
I don't know.
that
I
face.
don't know why. I just like giving you a hard time. I have no idea.
Don't know.
Have you tried being nice?
I'm nice to Sinead. I call her Chanel number 5.
Well,
Like
maybe
model.
if you got her name right, that would help.
Sinead?
Yeah.
I said her name.
You just
right.
said her name was Chanel.
Chanel number 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Come on, that was bad. That was a reach. So tell me what you've been up to. You just went schooling somewhere. I think they I don't know, have a commercial here.
yes. So I was actually just at Magnolia Sands today. Took a whole group there schooling, and I have to say, it was great. I had 11 horses there, all different levels. We did it in 3 groups, and it's so easy because they got all the jumps in one area. So it's set up awesome for schooling. You can just I'm just like, you go do this. Okay, now you
Go
go do
over there.
that. You go, and you can make it exactly what they need. So you're not like panicked about having. When I'm at a clinic, it's nice when you have all the groups like matched up well,
Yeah.
right? But when you're teaching at home, for me anyway, a lot of times I have different levels of people, and
You gotta point them in different directions.
and it's tough sometimes. You go schooling on a big like horse show type facility because things are spread out. But you go to Magnolia Sands and it's like everything is in one area, so you can just send them out. We had a
with
great
you.
time.
I agree with you, and it's a great place to go. We were out there a couple not too long ago. Elisa was trying one of Megan O'Donoghue's
Yep.
horses, and so we went there. But it's a great place to go. Everybody out there, Magnolia Sands, go cross country schooling. We've been going through something I want to talk about, and
I don't know what you're about to say. I'm nervous.
It's kind of bothering me. So we have a horse for sale.
Right?
Ingomar.
Yes,
Great
yes,
horse.
yes. Right.
Equitation. We have really great people representing him. Ronnie Beer, Diane Grod. And then I know you've seen this happen. So somebody starts to sell your horse, and all of a sudden your horse goes from X amount of money to X amount of money.
Right.
And it started happening to me this week. And I was like, I put a big hold stop on it.
Right.
I was like, I'm not selling my horse and then it being almost 75% more than what I'm selling it
Because
for.
everybody's tagging
Because everybody wants to tack in. Look, guys, our profession should be not known for shysters.
Right.
And I'm sorry, you don't need to make 10% on giving my horse's name to somebody. That's
Well, without even
what's it
saying,
called?
so I have done this, to your point.
Right.
There's a deal where you're representing a horse, you make 10%.
Sure.
But if I'm talking to you and I say, hey, you should go check out Megan's horse.
right.
Usually
I'll
the
give
way
you
it goes-
I'll throw you $1,000.
Yeah, usually you'll say to me, oh, what do I owe you for that? I'm like, you know what, give me $500.
Right.
Yeah, there's a difference.
So it's just really annoying. I don't think it so happens so much in the eventing world. It might, but I don't experience that.
Right.
It's more in the hunter jumper world. And I had to put my foot down. I was like, look, this is what it's going to be. And it ended up, they didn't come and see the horse.
Right.
And that's fine.
Right. Well,
'Cause
good for you for sticking to your guns.
I'm not doing it. It's like it's happened to Elisa before. I've been in the hunter jumper. Look, I'm not saying anything bad about the hunter jumpers. I'm just saying when we're professionals selling horses, you can't make 10% everybody can't make 10% off the horse.
Right.
They can't.
Well, it's interesting because I think, and you may know more about it than I do, but like if you sell a property, there's a regulation of what the percentage is on that property, and if the more agents get involved, they have to share that percentage.
Yeah, that's correct. And in the state of Florida now, which I reminded everybody, we have to disclose
yes, it's to be on the bill of sale.
Every single penny that's going out. So, to me, this is how, and I want to say this, to me, what I do is I'm representing my client or my horse, right? So if I had that, and I had somebody helping me, I give them 10%.
Right.
If somebody else has a client that's looking at this, their client can pay them 10%, but it's a private payment to them.
Right.
Doesn't affect my horse's cost.
Correct.
And if my horse is priced at something, that's what I want it to be priced at.
Yep.
And everybody make your money on that side. I'll give you a finder's fee or whatever.
Well, and
I just really, it really tweaks me a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
No, I get it. It's that's
Because
frustrating.
I think that's what's making these horse costs so much, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean, sometimes, right? You're like, it's a $300,000 horse. The horse was $100,000.
Right.
Where did that come from? I'm being
it's
over dramatic.
Correct. You?
Yeah.
That's
Your hair
shocking.
looks good now.
Does it better?
Yeah, that was
Thank
good.
you.
What's John wearing?
Which a lot of hair. John needs a haircut.
So anyway, I wanted to bring that up, and I'm not calling anybody out on it. I think it's just when you do like kind of have these conversations, I think what people need to understand is we can't all make 10%. And I think I want to make that clear. I mean, you can't make 10,000 and you can't make 10,000. And I feel like Oprah.
Right.
And you can't.
The opposite.
Make
You're the
Nopra.
opposite. Nopra.
Let's be.
Come on, that's clever.
Let's get this done right. And the most important thing to me, most important, is that my horse is sold to a place that's going to take care of them, that uses them right, and does not do anything that goes against his sweet nature. So
Right.
that's also the other reason I kind of
right home, for sure. Yeah.
so
Yeah, no, it's good. It is a thing, unfortunately.
yeah. So did you show this week or anything? No.
I went to Rocking Horse last week and got
you
the
did
young
good.
horses started. Yeah, they were good. They were great.
Good.
And then we take the others out to Ocala next week.
We have Lucinda Green.
Lucinda Green's coming.
She is coming in.
Yeah, we're going to have her. She'll be a guest on the show soon, I hope.
Yeah, we'll get her on. We just make her do whatever we want her to.
Poor Lucinda.
You know what she says to me? She goes, "Are you taking the lorry to Kentucky?" So she wants to. She stays in the camper with us.
Right.
Which Lucinda, she's not watching this, but I know Lucinda
Of course she's watching this.
Lucinda is the most. I mean, you could shove her into a little bottle like I Dream of Jeannie, and she would be very happy.
Right.
You just put her in a place.
Right. Just give her a bed and a blanket.
She has a bunk bed in our RV, and she manages. I'm like, "Are you comfortable?" "I'm fine." To stay in there, get all her emails done, do all her texting.
Which I think is just amazing, because can you imagine in any other sport, someone of the caliber of Lucinda being like, "Yeah, no, I'll just hang out in your camper."
Right.
No, they'd be like, "I need a fancy hotel.
No.
And I'm going to...
Nope, I just want to hang out in the camper. And we'll all be asleep, but she'll be standing out there, and I'll look out. I could look out through our little bedroom and see her. She's just emailing away.
Right.
Just.
Well, that's for sure, because
I felt like that guy, like yeah, you can milk the little kitty, you can milk the kitty.
She is amazing, because I have definitely messaged her like in the evenings over here on WhatsApp before, and just assume like she'll get to this tomorrow,
Yeah.
and boom, it's right back. And I'm like, "Lucinda, where are you?" "Well, I'm at home." I'm like, "It's like 3 a.m. Why are you awake?" "Oh, I just don't sleep much." I'm like, "You gotta be kidding
No,
me."
sometimes it's like Lucinda. It's like Lucinda. We'll hear a ding because
Right.
obviously she's 5 hours ahead.
Right.
So it'll be 2 a.m. and I hear ding, and you're yawning.
I'm not.
Yeah, she's great though. She's like so versatile and so easygoing. We've only seen her get grumpy every once in a while, because I remember one time I had a clinic with her. Remember when she got grumpy at Majestic?
Yes, I do.
She apologized for that.
It happens.
I know.
I never get grumpy.
I don't care. She's so adorable and sweet. And
I'm
we love
excited
having
she's
her.
coming. It'll be great.
I know, it's going to be good.
And then, so where do you guys go? Where's your next event? You go to...
We go, the next one's Ocala, and then we do Rocking Horse.
And then Carolina.
And then Carolina.
Right.
Oh my God, this is the fourth time you've yawned.
Stop. Nobody... Look,
They're watching.
the podcast doesn't know if you don't bring it up.
Well, I'm going to say you're yawning. Can you tell me how many times John yawned?
I've yawned twice, and
Yeah,
it's because
3
I'm
times.
nervous.
You're not nervous.
Because I'm here doing a show with you. And
No, whatever.
I'm tired. I can't help it. It's been a big day.
I know, you had the long day at Magnolia Sands, which is great. So what's your next event? You got
We
Ocala?
just did this. I go to Ocala.
I know that.
And then the next one after that actually is Chattahoochee.
Oh, you go to Chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And what are you doing at Chat?
I've got a couple in the 3-star there.
Is Kurt back out?
Kurt, it comes out on Thursday
Awesome.
at Ocala, and then he'll go and do the 3-star at
And
Chat.
this is back in a year?
No, it's been a little less than a year because he had a bone bruise.
Bone bruise, right.
Yeah, so he's,
That was at Ocala.
yes, in April.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So yeah, so he's
all
back
good.
rocking and rolling, and if this goes well, then then he'll go canter around the 3-star at Chat is the plan.
Good.
And then
I like
Salmon's
that
there,
horse.
and it's a nice horse. He's unique.
Awesome. Yeah, well, that's true. All
is
your
a character.
horses are unique.
He is a character.
You tend to get unique horses.
Well, I think that they're special.
The other one that was really cool that I liked that I saw go at Rocking Horse, I think, is the one that you brought over and then had to rest for a bit.
Call Up Cooley,
Yeah.
Irving. Yeah, that's a cool horse, huh?
I saw your videos of him.
Yeah, my reel. Yeah.
He looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a cool horse. That's possibly the best horse. Don't tell the other two.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is? I like Esmeralda better than him when they
she's
came
amazing.
over. But when I saw that reel, I was like,
You know what? Everybody's like, you have to like one more than the other. I don't like one more than the other. Those
well, your
horses,
3 wives, which one do you like more?
my 3 wives. Jen is my favorite for sure. So now, what we should say though before we move on and take a break is our contest one more time.
Yeah. Our contest is you have to watch this show and tell us where Julia spends her winters,
Yes.
for how long, and with who.
Not for how long, but for how long has she been there? Like how many years has she done this?
How many years has she done it? Okay, for how long? How many years
And
has she wintered there?
Keep in mind this information, which has been told to us a little bit ahead of time, this information could also be found on Julia's Instagram. So if you went to Julia Krajewski's, Krajewski, figure that one out. If you go to Julia's Instagram page and do you subscribe on Instagram?
No, I think you just follow.
You follow her on Instagram. You can get all of this information there as well, which would benefit Julia, and she would appreciate that. So do that also, as well as us.
But
right?
you've got to watch it, and you also, Julia's beautiful, so you need to be watching to see how beautiful she is.
Yep, she's not bad to look at,
Yep, so
and
it's
she's
fun.
super nice girl.
And the first woman gold medalist ever.
Yeah, so we're excited to have her on the show. I know you guys are like, would you two just shut up and put Julia on? So let's do that. Let's shut up, and we'll get to the Olympic gold medalist from the Tokyo Olympics.
Let's go. Come on, Julia.
Let's do it.
Come on, Julia.
So we'll be right back in the Jump for Joy studio. Thank you to Jump for Joy. Sandy, you are awesome. And thank you to Horse Trailer Pros, as always. 6 seasons and rolling. We'll be right back.
Bam. EquiBrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
EquiBrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order EquiBrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Hi, my name is Caroline Pabuchu, and I'm here with Jump for Joy. These are one of my key training techniques I use at home. They're extremely easy to use, they're very safe, and the thing I love about it is that they fall down. They have safety cups on them, which are extremely important to me to keep me and the horse safe. I love the fact that Jump for Joy has these type of brush on the jumps. It's a really easy way to teach my young horses how to jump through brush properly. There's not a better jump on the market.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
I stopped in and I love my horse today, and I got to tell you guys, it is such a cool store. They're over at WEC, right by the Grand Prix Arena. They have everything you could possibly need. Clothing, tack, accessories, whatever you need to find, they will be able to take care of you. Fun store to shop in. If you're like me and you event and you need some last minute things at the competition to save the day, they also have a mobile unit, and I Love My Horse will absolutely take care of you and get you everything you need to have a great competition. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are really excited to be able to tell you guys that we have Julia Krajewski in. Close enough?
That was very good.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, well, we
I
really
know this
appreciate
is
it.
exciting.
So we are in the Jump for Joy studio, and we are in the Equibrew segment, which
Oh yeah, Julia.
It sounds dangerous.
is good stuff.
It's really good stuff.
So Equibrew is a live probiotic. You feed it to all of your, well, I feed it to all my horses. You should. It's from New Zealand.
But then we have to try to get it to Germany.
We'll get there. And it is great. The horses eat it fantastic. It helps their general digestive health. It's great for their coats. It makes them want to eat, which is super helpful with all of my horses, and I love it. So Rick, anything I missed on that?
No, www.brickfieldnutrition.com. And everybody, it's not just a treatment, it's a lifestyle. So you want your gut health every day. It helps all other nutrients come in and transform your horse to a beautiful performer.
It's like horsey kombucha.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, perfect.
I was thinking you brewed it yourself. Because,
No.
I mean, I'm not.
It's brewed
Germany is not my first language, I say.
It's
What
brewed
do you
in
do?
New Zealand.
Okay, cool.
No, it's good stuff. Well, eventually, when it gets to
Shall I
Germany, we'll let
try?
you know. We could
Do
give
you
you a
put it on your breakfast?
You could.
You can.
Yeah, you can
It's
do it.
good for people.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you for coming. So I guess the first thing is, you're here in Ocala, Florida. You are here looking at horses and kind of hanging out and having a good time?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, eventing world it's a very small world,
Right.
you find out. I'm here for a couple of days now, and I think I've met about 5 horses I've sold, and another 5 I've known before they've been sold here.
Right.
And I learned that Ocala is the place to be for horse people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you don't meet the person or the horse, then definitely someone knows where it lives within the next 20 minutes.
Right.
Which is very cool.
That is cool. We're all like 20 minutes apart.
Yeah, that's what everything is 20 minutes.
Yep.
Yes, you've already picked up on that. We joke about it.
Because
Everything is 20 minutes
Because we
away.
have Lucinda Green coming next week, and she's like, everything's just 20 minutes away. I was like, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, so, and then I've got some friends here which I help a bit riding and seeing people ride, and it's good fun. I like it.
So,
And it's sunny.
and
For
it
German,
is. So you got
that's
here
the
last
thing.
week. It was cold.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
so cold.
what's the next thing everyone said? Thankfully you didn't come last week. It was terrible. I was
was
like,
cold,
no, I
it was
picked it
cold.
right.
Yeah, you did.
So everybody listening, but we want you to be watching. So you should subscribe to YouTube channel. You're the first gold medalist in the Olympics as a woman. 57 years after the first woman started to compete. It took 57 years, and it took you, Julia, to win the gold medal. How does
Well
that
done.
feel?
I've got asked this question very, very often.
I know, it's a good question.
First, I have to say I didn't know, and also afterwards, like literally, someone had to tell me you're the first woman. It's a big thing, which I think is a good thing because means that for us, it's quite normal to compete against men.
Right.
And I think literally women have won or had won everything else before. So it was a bit of a surprise to me. But then obviously I was very happy that I was the one who did it because
Yeah.
it's quite a thing.
That's pretty legendary.
and of course, I mean, Bettina was like this close in 2004, but then I find it was about time we made that happen, because people have nothing to do with horses maybe, but they can relate to an Olympic gold medal, and to also show the last girl somewhere that also as a woman you can win an Olympic gold medal in something where we didn't compete with men for many years, but now we do. And it's really, especially with horses, I think on the horse it makes absolutely no difference if I'm a man or a woman, like at all. Next to the horse, depends, sometimes, maybe yes, but a horse doesn't mind, and there's so many different horses that literally there's a horse for everyone. And no, it's something good to have on my vita.
Yeah.
And I like to, especially for the ones, I mean, I probably have been very lucky that I grew up in circumstances where I was pretty much equal to the boys, but not everyone has, and so they have something to maybe take courage off.
Right.
It's good, because I
is
know
good.
it's not everywhere the same, obviously.
So you talk about growing up, and I've read a little bit about you, and it's interesting because you say you come from a non-horsey family.
Yeah, very much.
And you ended up at a pig farm. Is that correct?
Oh, I can't wait.
Sort of. So my parents are, and I'm going to say it wrong again, our geophysicists.
Geophysicists.
That was perfect.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm practicing since, because
That's
I've been
good.
asked a few times. So I mean, really non-horsey. And then we lived in Hanover. That's like a normal city. And then my family had to move because the company where my dad worked for moved, and he couldn't find another job anyway. Then they moved, and my mother thought, okay, this new place we're going, it's not very much culture, so we have to get something for the kids, which they can do, so they don't do something stupid. So they thought getting horses, and since we couldn't afford like a big ready-made yard, they bought an old pig farm, and I mean the pigs were gone, but I remember within the first weeks we had quite some, I don't know, thunderstorm, was not very comfortable. My dad had to flex away the pig stands so we could put the horses into something like a building.
Right.
And I mean, it was nice in the end. It had its purpose, or fulfilled the purpose, but it really wasn't very fancy. I would mostly jump on, ride everything on grass and build stuff for myself.
Sure.
And
like we do now.
yeah, but it was cool. We had the ponies and we did everything ourselves, and we would feed before school, and I think we learned most things somehow. My dad used to bring books from the UK when he was traveling from work, I don't know, Mark Todd, Blythe Tate, Mary King. That I've read all these books. There was a big book about grooming, and I would read this, and then I would train my pony like Mark Todd trained for One Star or something like that.
Right.
Because
Awesome.
we didn't really, there was no one who would tell me really what to do. Of course, I did have coaches, but not in a way that someone always said.
That's the book I remember.
That's probably why you're the gold medalist, because it was hands-on experience, and I think a lot of people out there need to understand. I mean, that's what built you into what you are today.
And there was a lot of try and error. I mean, it also often enough went wrong. But then I always like to find a way for the horse. And if I have a problem, I have the problem for 10 minutes, and then I like to find a solution. If someone tells me about his problem, I'm like, oh, that's annoying. Maybe you could,
Right.
I'm trying to always look ahead and find a way, which sometimes my private surroundings find that a bit annoying.
Well, totally. I will tell you that's super interesting, because in my marriage with my wife, she comes to me with problems, and I have to ask her now, do you want me to listen or do you want me to find a solution?
Yeah, that's, not everyone wants to actually.
A lot of times they just want you to listen.
Complain, and then you feel sorry for the person.
Right. Yeah.
That's probably a good.
So my
Do you want
advice
me
to
to give a
you,
solution or no?
yeah, my advice to you is in
Yeah.
these situations you need to ask them, do you want a solution or do you want me just to listen to you?
Yeah, good point. Very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's how I figured through many issues with ponies and then horses, and yeah. And I think I have two sisters, and they also did ride up to national championship level, but then they got a decent profession.
Right.
One is a doctor, the other one works like in marketing and these things. And I ended up staying with horses, and literally no other person in my entire family, I don't know how far away, has anything really to do with horses.
It started with you, Julia.
So that's happened in my family as well. My sister is a lawyer, and my brother.
That's useful.
Yeah, that's a good job. And my brother owns his own company. It was the family business, and he owns it and does a great job with that. And then I did horses. So in Germany, like with you staying with horses, is that like, wow, great job, you stuck with horses? Or is it like, oh boy, yeah, Julia does horses?
Well,
because here it would be like, oh boy.
It's usually people don't really know that it's a profession.
Right.
So you're doing horses, so what are you doing? You just ride your 1 or 2 horses per day. It's like, no, I usually work like 12 to 14 hours a day, unfortunately, because it doesn't pay so well, you know.
Okay, so it's the same problem
It's
we
the
have.
same,
It's the same problem.
But in my family, they got used to me usually not being at, I mean, I try to make the weddings happen.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't go to every little thing before, which, I mean, it's also a great excuse.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
is.
sorry, you know, there's this big show, and if there's not a big show yet, I can make there be a big show. So it's a bit like they accepted it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I've had a couple
she's awake.
arguments
Maybe
about
they will
that.
see me on TV. That's fine. Then they all watch together on Clip My Horse. I'm being somewhere, and it's cool.
Right.
That's good. That is really good.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect, yeah.
So that, when I read about that, I thought it was interesting. And so that's how you built your foundation for what you're doing today.
Yeah, but I never wanted to be a professional at all.
As a girl growing up, you didn't want to be a professional.
No, until I was 18.
So what happened then?
I had to.
You had to make a decision.
Sort of. So I was almost finished with school. I was 18, and I was also doing good at school. I could have studied something decent. Definitely. I wanted to be a vet, but then I didn't quite make the cut and say, okay, I go and study vet. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't. Anyway, we got this call from the National Federation because they have a program where they like bring people together, and then they move to Warendorf, which is our national training center, and literally help them to develop into professionals. And they called and they asked if I want to join the program.
That's pretty Freudian right there.
Yeah. And I said, no, I don't want to. I don't want to be a professional. I don't want to earn money with horses. And like my mother said, what else do you want to do? I said, I don't know. And then she said, well, then you just go and try. And if you figure something else out, you can always leave again. So, and we had quite an argument about that for weeks, probably.
Wow.
Also, we had the little problem that the German tax department in that moment decided that what we are doing is not business but hobby. So there was a bit of, I couldn't just quit horses. So I had to keep going. It was a bit of a thing. And then I moved to Warendorf and didn't leave again.
Right.
And became a professional and
lived
stuck with horses.
And lived out your childhood dream that you never had.
Yeah, I wrote in a book I want to be Olympic champion one day, but I was just, I think I was 10. Okay, that's cool. And I've read all this book, Mark Todd. And
everybody heard out there, just write it down.
Yeah, write it down. Olympic and world champion I wrote. I can take that off.
Well done.
So what's next?
Now, for me.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I lived at this National Federation place for 17 years. It was great.
Wow.
I mean, they helped me a lot developing me. And because my parents were, I think we had it good enough. Like they could afford sending us to shows and buying young, not too expensive horses and ponies. And we made it happen. But it was not, at some point they were like, okay, you have to figure yourself out.
Right.
We can't. You've got 2 sisters, they need to study. And it was just, I had to start sort of financing myself, which was, it's difficult. Everyone who's doing horses and has to live off it knows, and I think it's wherever you are in the world. It's not easy.
It's the same.
So that place really helped me because then you get some stables for free in the beginning and training for free and all of that. And then after 17 years and 3 Olympic championships and everything, I decided it's time to move on. Because it's also very, it's as if you would live at Ocala all the time.
Right.
It's cool, but it's not so much a home.
Right.
I don't know. Ocala's a home.
I mean, at WEC.
I'm kidding.
Like being at
I don't
the
have
whole,
fun being at WEC the
whole time.
And everybody always knows what's going
Right.
on and what your
Everything's
bosses are
happening.
doing. And
There's no private time.
yeah, and you also know all the time what's happening, and sometimes you don't want to know all the time what's happening.
Right.
You just want to leave in
You
peace and
just want to go
quiet.
back and sit quiet. 20 minutes, just 20 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I picked up this great boyfriend who lives in Rome,
All right.
who also happens to be an eventer, but he's eventing a bit less now. He's coaching more, and I decided to move there for the winter with my horses, and then for the summer I will be in Germany, but in another place. So I keep doing the same, but I really changed my life around. So for me, maybe from the outside it's not so exciting, but for me, like knowing how to do everything for 17 years and then changing everything is.
No, that's pretty cool.
It's a bit of something.
So
And,
so you're in Rome in the winters.
Yep.
So the Italian men, that's it then, huh?
Yeah, he changed it.
That seems like Lissa
Get
Green,
yourself an
Lissa
Italian
Green has an
boyfriend.
Italian man too. So the Italians are coming after all their girl eventers.
Maybe yes.
Yeah. All right. So is there like an eventing circuit in
Rome?
Italy?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Good events?
I would say it's maybe similar to Florida. You don't probably need to spend all year because it gets very hot and also
Right.
humid, like around Rome. But let's say from September, October until May, it's very good. It's nice. There are also some international shows. You can
Right.
do lots of show jumping. I've got the hills at home where I can get my horses.
And how far is that from Protoni then?
45, or like maybe an hour.
Oh,
Depends
okay.
on
So
the
it's right
traffic.
there. So
Yeah, it's literally like Pratoni is southeast, Monte Libretti, maybe you know, is
Right, yeah,
north,
yeah.
and we are west, like just next to the airport. So
Okay.
it's very cool, and it's funny for me. Like I literally live where other people go for holiday,
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Same.
that's nice.
and I mean the food and it's for me the biggest difference, and that was something that I really wanted to change after 17 years is a little bit the approach, well, to your daily life. I mean, I like to work and I work a lot, but I think I had to slow down a little bit
Right.
to be able to continue
Like
what
enjoy
I'm doing.
life.
Yeah, and not come home from the show and see everyone train and just literally you just won a Forster, but you have to go again and you go
Yeah.
boom boom and you literally forget to take a breath sometimes and enjoy what you did. And
Well, then that was a good thing. Rome.
I think, yeah, I hope we will see. But
So is this your first winter there?
Yeah.
All right.
So I mean, I'm here in Florida, which is nice and sunny, but thankfully I don't have to go back to very cold and wet Germany.
Right.
I just have to go down like, I would say like 7 to 10 degrees max.
Okay.
That
sounds reasonable.
Fine. Yeah, that's very good.
Actually, maybe a little nicer.
I like it when it's warm. I like as long as it's humid, warm is fine.
Does it rain a lot in Rome?
Not so much. I mean, every now and then it does. But compared to Germany, where it literally rains from, and
Right.
in the last 2 years, it didn't stop raining.
It feels
Basically.
like that. I mean, even the whole area over there was just rain.
Everything, France is rain. It feels like Italy is the last non-rainy part of Europe for now.
Right.
How many horses do you have in Rome?
I have 12.
Wow.
Yeah, which is I was supposed to bring 8,
And
and
you
then it
got
somehow
12.
got 12, and we had to build stables, and 2 are living out, which is, I mean, here it's normal, but it's not as usual.
Right.
But I said, well, just turn them out. Yeah, but it's cold. And I said, it's not even freezing. It's not cold.
Right.
But they're going to be
They're
fine.
sturdy German horses. They'll be fine.
And no, that's really something cool for me. And it's different for me. And I mean, obviously I still have goals. Like my next big goal would be World Championships in Aachen.
Right.
26, and then LA. But then I'm like, I somehow decide for myself, this is what I want to do. But then I'm very much someone who's stuck to the process.
Right.
I don't dream about the Olympics every night. Like I want to get there, and then it's
Then it's the
little
process to get
process,
there.
So it's more about producing the horses, and if the timing works out, then that's the horse that goes.
Yeah, basically yes. And even in the competition, of course I want to win, but then I really work on I try to get this as good as possible, and then this, and then this, and then, okay, if it works out and you win, it's perfect. But if you're maybe 5th and it still was good, then I'm maybe as happy, like,
Right.
Of course, winning is cool, but I'm very much a process person.
It's working. So what we
Most-
should do is we should take a break, and then we need to talk about that process, because I know 2021, the mare, right? You had the mare going to the Olympics. Weren't
Yep.
you on a tight timeline thinking that she might not be ready, but then she was, and then what? And then you can tell us what happened.
Yeah, but the biggest problem was I tried to qualify her 3 times and it didn't work. And it was like the last shot. And then suddenly, boom, she was there.
I know, it's crazy.
Well, let's
Let's
take a break, and then we're going to get all the details on that. Thank you again to Equibrew.
Yep, live
Good
probiotic.
stuff. Also, when we come back, we're going to tell you guys about this show's competition.
Oh.
Because we have some cool prizes to give away.
Yeah,
So we have to figure that out during the break.
we'll let Julia in on it.
All right, so thanks for sponsoring this segment to Equibrew, and we'll be right back with Julia Krajewski in the Jump for Joy studio.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Another thing I love about Jump for Joy is that the jumps are so easy to move. It takes me and one other person to make a whole new cross-country questions. No tractors needed. I've got a lot of different sort of questions I've been able to design with these jumps. Set up some really difficult angled hedges, bank out the water to an angled hedge, and have these really nice skinnies. And another great thing is they have these amazing flags, so the horses always understand the jump between the flags.
Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Reset, reboot, rebuild, restore. Experience the transformative power of our formulas you can trust. Elevate your horse's well-being from the inside out with Parkmore supplements. European designed, American manufactured, and Kentucky Proud certified. Parkmore's Devil's Own Detox, Nature's Own Binding Agent, cleansing your horse's system. Now available for your canine kids too. Say goodbye to unwanted elements and hello to vitality. Parkmore Special Vitamin Mineral Supplement, a micronutrient powerhouse. No fillers, just 4 ounces a day for a 5-star adventure to thrive. Because excellence deserves exceptional nutrition. Parkmore GLF Immuno Booster. Unleash the magic gold, the #1 building block for cell replication. Elevate wellness and recovery for your horses and dogs, whether after training, travel, competition, or during periods of injury, illness, or surgery. Parkmore HI Oil Infusion. Customize your blends of herbs and spices to naturally combat inflammation, bacteria, and restore gut flora. Elevate your horses and dogs' appetite naturally. Expert guidance awaits. For more information, schedule an online, telephone, or on-site consultation with Fleur or one of our dedicated team members. Visit parkmoresupplements.com or call, text at 502-265-8345 to elevate your companion's well-being today. Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're in Jump for Joy Studios, and we're with Julia. We're going to get into 2020, flash forward 2021, going to the Olympics. And there was something that happened in your barn in 2019, though, right? There was a really good horse you had that lost an eye.
But a lot happened. A lot happened in that winter. And it was, the end of, I have to get it right myself. So the end of 2020, I think it was, because we the horse was fine all of 2020, and then it was Samurai Duto, was my Rio Olympic horse, and I don't know how many 4-star shorts
Right.
he won, like a lot. I think he was in 50 competitions 5 times out of the top 10 or something. And
Incredible.
out of these 5 times, make it 8. I think it was 1 Aachen, 1 Olympics, and 1 championship. So that was the ones everyone remembered. So they were like, he's the naughty one, but actually he was a very, very good one. And he qualified end of 2020 and would have been my pick for the Olympics, knowing that it's happening the next year. And then I have to say that winter to 2021 was, it was the worst. First, it started off with, I had a pretty bad like fungus going around in my stable, so I ended up, you can vaccinate against it. And I just did it. I didn't think about it too much. First round went fine, and then the second again. And he always was a little bit so-and-so with his immune system. Anyway, that did absolutely not go down well, and then he started getting worse and worse. And first you think, okay, he just has a bit of temperature, and then after a couple of days, okay, this is not going good. And then he went to the clinic, and turned out he had a sepsis.
Oh yeah, sepsis. Yep.
Sepsis, and it was literally everywhere. He was about to, how do you call it when they...
Founder?
Yeah, when they about to get out of their hoofs.
Yeah, his founder.
And his hind legs were swollen like elephant legs.
Yeah,
And
he had cellulitis.
it was, and they were like, but basically just fighting for his life. And then it got better, but then they said, well, he got an eye infection because all these bacteria, which, basically we struggled to get the right antibiotics for about 10 days.
Right.
And I think in the end, his part owner, he's from, like he does, or did something with biology also. He has some science friend who then came and tested something, and he actually think he ended up pointing the right direction. But these bacteria or germs that got into his body, they sort of stuck in the eyes. So he went on and off with eye inflammation, left and right and left and right. And by then it was already February. And I actually thought, okay, man, he's going better. Like they got him fine, and he would also be fine to walk and do this and that. But then these germs, I can't describe it different in English, they started to like eat on the eye. And he got like a hole in his eye, and they patched it up once, and then it went bad again, and they patched it up twice. And then they said, okay, either we remove the eye now, or probably this whole germ situation is getting to the brain. So we said, well, okay, then, we tried, but I don't want him to die trying. So take the eye out, and within a week he was fine.
Wow.
And but for me he was always a bit spooky, and for me it was very, very clear that I wouldn't try him at top level eventing anymore.
So that was his right eye?
No, his left.
Because we had a one-eyed horse, and we were able to keep going with him. But there's some that can and some that can't. Ours was very ditchy. When his eye came out, he wasn't ditchy anymore.
Maybe I should have tried.
You maybe should have.
No, but it took. He was fine in the sense that
Sure.
he was without inflammation, but it took him probably a year to sort of recover.
So
like
then,
his legs were, and they're still not beautiful because he lost quite some skin because they were so swollen, and it was quite dramatic. Now he's now living with a friend, and he's teaching. Because he wasn't very big, or still not big, so he's teaching like girls fancy tricks.
So he's got a job.
He's got a job. He's happy, and it's fine. But then people ask me, was it a difficult decision? But this whole process took like 3 months,
right.
And when you are close to the point of basically deciding if the horse has to die, then deciding you maybe don't go top level eventing anymore is
it's not a difficult decision.
It was like I was happy that he got fine, but I didn't. And there was maybe one moment where I realized I'm never going to have this feeling like kart driving him around cross country anymore.
Right.
That makes you sad, but not just because it's cool.
Right.
And it was okay.
It was the right decision.
Yeah, it was the right decision. But then during all of this, basically this period, first where my dog got run over by a horse, first dog, which, for everyone who has a dog knows that's devastating.
Was
the worst. It was, I think, on top of the other thing, got me really down. Then my father died in January. He had very rare form of dementia, and it went very quick. Like basically in between Rio and Tokyo, he degenerated in a way that for him was surely better. And we saw it coming, but that happened in January, and then in February we had to take the eye out. So I think I was at a point where
You have a lot of things going bad.
That's a lot to
where
deal with.
I mean, where the eye gone and Sam not in top sport anymore was, it wasn't the biggest issue.
Right.
And
right.
then it was all this COVID situation where you just didn't know what would happen and what would not happen. And I just decided in the autumn that I would go self-employed. Maybe it was a bit stupid.
Bad timing.
And you couldn't do clinics, and nothing worked. I remember in this winter we had massive snow in Germany. Usually you don't, but we had like more than half a meter. And it was when they started, we had to do COVID tests for everything, but they didn't have the laboratories up yet. So I ended up getting like a test done and then driving this test 45 minutes through the snow with my own car to the laboratory to get it checked so I could fly to France the next day to do a clinic. So it was really, like, the Olympics were the last thing on my mind, really. Right. I thought, okay, maybe we have Europeans, could be nice. The mare wasn't qualified anyway, so I was like, okay, let's just have a nice show, see if we get a 4-star long to get her qualified, and then we see.
And then where did you go?
And then there was the... Should we stop?
No, you're good. Keep going.
We'll just talk over it.
Then there was this rhino thing going on in that spring. So the shows I wanted to do were then cancelled or delayed. So I did one show, and then 2 weeks after I went to Saumur. Because I thought it could be good for her. She was big, galloping, like quite a horse. And I mean, France for a French horse, why not? But the thing was also that I tried to qualify her twice before, I think. Once I didn't show jump her because I thought she wasn't fine, but she was. But I mean, I didn't show jump, so it didn't count. And another time, I think I had a run out at the second last or something. So also didn't work out. So it was a bit, okay, third time lucky, and not really not thinking you're prepping for the Olympics. But somehow with that mare, she was a lot of horse, and she would always give like 150% rather than 100, which would really have been enough. And it took quite some years.
I like that.
I know a lot of people that way too.
It really took quite some time to get that right, and somehow in that year it clicked, and she was there, and it was, I should probably rent rides on her to give riders the feeling how it feels to have an absolute genius under you. Because if you see her, you maybe wouldn't think, but everyone who sat on her was like, wow, okay, I know what you feel. Because she always felt so powerful, but still she had an overview and a presence. And once I had all her energy contained, it was the coolest feeling.
Now, that is a really good description.
Yeah.
I like that. Wow.
And then especially in Tokyo, the show jumping, or also Patoni, like she would have a pole every now and then, usually because she liked to kick out, and she's just very much a mare.
Wait, so she's French?
She's French.
I have a really good French horse, a young horse, and that bugger kicks out all the time. I'm feeling better about this now. Thank you.
But she knew, I think she genuinely knew when it mattered, because in these 2 rounds, or it was actually 3 rounds, I think I could have sitting on her backwards and she would have jumped clear, because she was like, I've got this. And she was so on it and so powerful. And when the other horses were starting to have poles, because, it was a bit hot the day before, she was like, not with me. And that was, people ask me if she's my heart horse or something. It's like, I'm in total awe of her. I have the biggest respect of that horse, because she's just extra.
Right.
And
well, she had to have been. Look at her.
Well, and it sounds like, and from listening to you talk, actually, with everything that you went through leading up to that at not having the Olympics as the main thing was actually why you were able to deal with all the stuff, because you had so much other stuff going on, and because, and I don't want to speak for you, but it seems like from what you're saying, like, okay, yeah, we're just producing the horse, doing the program and gonna try to bring it along, but with everything else that was going on, it was like where a lot of people, when one little thing would go wrong, I think would fold under the pressure of that. Seems like just meeting you, like you were like, well, whatever, we're just kind of doing our thing anyway.
Well, I mean, I get stressed enough, but I like to keep going forward. So through the difficult winter, it was good to feel that things with her are falling into place, and it, you've got something. I mean, the day is bad, but a good ride on a horse is always something that cheers you up. So feeling that she's getting there was definitely something that gives you something good in the day. So that gets me forward, but at the same time, it wasn't my main focus to make it to the Olympics. But then I always, since I've been a national coach and I know how selection works, for me, I very much know pretty much what I have to do to get selected. So I think more about, okay, I get this right and I want to get this right. And generally I want to win. So I want to get things so right that I can win. And I know if I win, or, if you're good enough and you have the results, they also have to select you. But it's coming from it a bit from the other direction.
Way. Yeah.
But that keeps me busy and that keeps me thinking, and I definitely riding horses and getting on a horse again and finding a new goal with a horse is something that always keeps me going when it's difficult.
That's pretty good, though. I mean, that's how you get to where you're going. So
yeah.
Nickel 20.
It's not, the numbers really don't matter to us. Everyone keeps
Nickel.
Saying the numbers,
Nickel.
but we don't say.
Tell us about Nickel, because you've been doing really well with that one. And I did look back at the record, and I think it was Bocolo.
Yeah,
you had some problem, and then you went back to
water.
Bocolo the next year, and you did great.
Well, they changed the water.
Was that dark? That was that dark water down in the back.
Yeah.
That's a terrible water.
So that one seems like a cool horse.
Very much, but he couldn't be more different
Than
to Mandy, for example.
Yeah.
And I got him when he was end of 6, turning 7, because he was supposed to be show jumper, but he wasn't quite good enough. And then I thought, maybe try eventing. And then I went and took him cross-country schooling, and I couldn't go near a fence and walk. He was too spooky. He's still very spooky. Like hacking and walk is not his favorite.
Right.
She likes Sinead.
Right.
She's like
doesn't like to hack.
No. Also, he would do piaffe and passage most of the time. It's just annoying. Anyway, I took him cross-country schooling, and once we tried from Kent, he was very good, like very natural. But he felt quite normal. Like, not a horse you would get nervous about. He was good looking, we moved okay, not too special. He jumped nice, but not as special. He was decent doing cross-country schooling, but doesn't have the most thoroughbred, so maybe he's better off as a junior horse. And the owners wanted to sell him at that point because it's the same people that own him again now, but they also have a stud and they have many horses and they wanted to sell a couple of horses. So they said, if you have someone nice that could be fitting, sell him. So, okay, I had this junior girl as a student where I thought that could just be her horse because he's not that complicated. And then I did some shows and he very quickly went up to do 2-star, I think. And then she bought him and also won a 2-star that year, and went fine, was good. But luckily he stayed like almost in my stable, I think like the next barn. So I kept training her, I kept having an eye on the horse, and then they always borrowed him to me doing funny things like in Aachen the jump and drive, or I went to Stockholm doing the indoor cross country, like these sort of things, because he was quite, and that's I think the best thing about him, which I mean I thought, okay, he's easy enough in the beginning, but then, I mean, taking a horse to a big indoor thing with fireworks and stuff, and they just do it, it's quite special. Like, he just goes and does it. He would never think of not doing what you ask him. So then the girl, I think she finished school, and I have to think which year it was. Probably 22. Mm-hmm. She sort of quit riding because she went to New Zealand and Australia, and the parents asked me if we want to ride him for the time she's gone, and they said, yeah, sure, he's cool, see what we can do. And then I ended up doing 3-star long at the end of the year, and I thought, okay, he was, I think, first or second, and it felt fairly easy on him. And I thought, okay, maybe we should keep him and try 4-star next year. And since the girl just stayed down under, she stayed there for 1.5 years. And in this 1.5 years, I then got him from doing 2-star to doing 4-star long.
Right.
Because he's the most genuine soul. I think he never, touch wood, tried to run out or had to stop even in training.
Right.
Since I tried from Kenta. And he, like every 3 months, I often enough would think, okay, I reached the limit of his capacities of galloping or how he moves or how he jumps. And then 3 months on, you're better. There's the next level. And you think, okay, that's it. And then 3 months on, you're like, okay, he's even better. And it's like just when we, in Paris, because he used to have a pole down on the last day, like all the time. Just one pole. He's a good jumper, but he's not dying to jump clear. And then on the last day, probably because he was still a bit weak in his body and he couldn't quite just make it. And then in Paris, I mean, there was then again this some percent where he jumped this really nice double clear on the last day, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like this horse keeps surprising us. But not like with Mandy, I knew she's special from day one. I only have to get it right. And with him, I thought he's more normal. And then he turns out to be so special. And that's what I love about horses.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Never know what you got.
Then to like close the circle, the girl came back and they had all the experience. Like they won Aachen and then I went to Paris. But anyway, she doesn't ride really anymore. And the parents said, well, okay, then it's risky to have an event horse and all of that. So they wanted to sell the horse. And then thankfully, his first owner, who also happened to be the part owner of Mandy,
right,
said, well, okay, I'll buy him back for you. So he bought him back for me so he can stay with me.
That was good.
Thank goodness after all that to lose him because they just, couldn't figure it out. That's great.
And that was, obviously I'm very thankful for that, but that was like, okay, thankfully that one can stay. And I think maybe he's not a burly horse, but then, that's also only one show.
Right.
And he's cool.
And it kind of segues into what we're going through right now. We talk about it all the time. Do you have a championship horse or do you have a 5-star horse? Do you think there's a separation of state?
Definitely, 100%. And then 5-star is not 5-star. I think like Nickley could probably do Lumülen, Po, maybe Kentucky if it's not too wet. But I think I would never try the other ones because I know he's not made for that. And probably I could try to get him fit, but chances he would just really struggle, and then you get them injured, and you think afterwards, "Why I knew before." So I don't want to try
for the championships.
And then championships, and it's literally sometimes different sort of horses. There are some who can do both, but it's really not so many. Yeah. And I think, it's fine. I also find not every horse has to be a 5-star horse, and not every 5-star horse is maybe a championship horse. So, and if you can have both sort of horses in your stable, you're probably very lucky. We Germans usually, where the championship counts more, because, also that everyone knows what an Olympic medal is, or gold medal, but most people in Germany would have no idea if you say I won badminton. Like literally.
Right.
No idea. They would think you do this thing where you hit the ball.
That's the same here. People would know an Olympic gold medal, but they wouldn't know if you won badminton.
But maybe they know about Rolex Kentucky rather.
Maybe not a normal person who's not a horse person.
No. So we put lots of effort into getting to championships, and then there are not so many horses. So you probably rather put preference to a championship horse than a 5-star horse.
That's interesting. Yeah. There's different people that went different things, but we obviously know they're only rare ones that can do both.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
So,
what are we do for this contest?
The contest is this.
Is that what you've been in your head?
Yes, totally. I've been sitting here listening, and I've been like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
So I got it. So the contest is people need to go onto the YouTube. So if you're listening to us on the podcast players, thank you. And make sure you give us a review.
Now you got to watch.
But you have to also go to YouTube.
And watch it.
And you have to watch. Now, you don't have to watch to get the answer. You have to go to YouTube and comment to be able to be part of the competition. And the question you have to answer is, where does Julia spend her winters?
Oh.
Okay.
And how many years has she spent it?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So how many years has she spent her winters where she is currently spending her winters?
And with?
And with who? This is great. Doesn't have to be a name because we didn't give the name. But you have to know who is she spending her winters with and where and for how long has she done this.
Perfect.
That has to be in the comments on YouTube. And then we will select a
win?
winner.
Do you have that little box thing?
Give me
the box thing.
Our prize.
Plus
Plus, I Love My Horse. So you're going to get an I Love My Horse gift certificate for $25.
And Trinity, your grill.
Regal Horse Treats.
Regal Horse Treats.
Homemade,
which
right
we
here.
should give to Julia.
Like, is it for me to eat or for the horse?
Well,
No, it's for the horse.
It's for the horse.
It looks delicious.
she can give us more to send out.
Yeah, for sure.
So you get to take that.
I gotta take. How do I get that home in the plane?
That's the
Eat
problem.
all of that.
Well, you decide. You can decide after the show.
Put it in your bag.
If you would like them, I'm sure Trinity would
Will
like
they
for you
take
to
that out
have
of the
those.
bag? I guess they would.
I think you can send it like not hand luggage, but the other.
On
Okay.
the.
I think yeah.
Okay, well, if you'd like them, they're yours. They're a gift.
Cool.
And
Thank
if they give you a hard time, just start eating them.
They're totally edible. They're a little chewy because they're made for
And
horses.
you can take the Equibrew with you and just swig like you have a drink.
Yeah, I would have another great story about having to take a sip of what you're drinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, because of the Tokyo Olympics. I
Yep.
think it's generally at championships. I mean, they do scan everything you have.
Yeah.
So if you bring in a bottle of something, you
Right.
have to take a sip.
Oh.
And
you
then, I mean, it was very
This is
early.
like in the Olympic Village.
No, at the stable.
At the stable,
The
okay.
village, nothing is allowed. But in the stable, you're not allowed to bring alcohol,
Right.
but you can bring in your drink. So the day of the show jumping in Tokyo, like my boyfriend, he knows I like to have a gin and tonic to celebrate.
Right.
So he wanted to bring in some gin to celebrate, and then he put it into a bottle like this,
like a water bottle.
Water bottle, and then we went into the stable area. I was 6 a.m, and they were like, "Yeah, you have to check if it's fine. Take a good zip." And he was like opening it at 6 a.m. Very good zip of pure gin, and he was like,
And trying to play it off cool.
"It's just water." Put it back, and I couldn't hold
And
myself.
did he
together.
pass it? Did he get through with it?
Yeah, he got through with it.
That's
amazing.
love.
That is a great story.
And
That is
I
love.
felt so bad for him, but I mean, it was worth it. It was good.
Yeah, no, that worked
Yeah,
out.
that
okay.
is a really good story. I like that.
I think he wasn't the only one with that.
So if we ever meet him, I'm going to bring him a bottle of gin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's awesome. I'm glad you
That's
got
great.
to tell that story. So we know what the contest is, right?
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming here.
Thanks
I
for
know
having me.
it was very nice of you to come by and do this, and everybody's going to love hearing
Yeah, and
your
just so
story.
people know, like, I messaged poor Julie on Instagram as some random person, "Hey, come be on our podcast." And I'm like, there's no chance that she's going to say yes. And I got back like that instantly. Yeah, of course I can come, no problem. So thank you. You were really nice.
I do handle my Instagram myself, 90%.
Yeah, that's impressive. I was like, I cannot believe I actually got her, and she said yes. This is
Well,
great.
and we've been trying to get Chris Talley on here for a while. Who?
Well, I should tell him.
Yeah, he's way
Prove
more
yourself.
complicated.
He's complicated.
He
You're
lives
not
here, and he's
complicated.
impossible.
Yes. Hey, Chris, look, we got Julia.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah. So,
All
all
right.
right. Thank you very
That's
much.
good.
Thank you to Horse Trailer Pros for sponsoring the show, as always, for 6 years.
6 years. I
That's
know.
impressive.
Yeah, thank you to Jump for Joy for sponsoring the studio. Thank you to all you guys for being amazing viewers. We just this month went over 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. We really appreciate that. And make sure you guys keep subscribing and giving us all the 5-star reviews on the podcast players. It really helps out a lot, and commenting on YouTube as much as you can. So thank you, and we'll be back
God, you talk a lot.
in... This is all the important stuff, Rick.
That's what
Yes.
you do in a podcast.
Yeah, you're supposed to talk. Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
Julia, you've been
Thanks,
great.
everybody.
I appreciate it. Rick, you've not been great. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.